All right, got a little delivery today. The Screen Innovations 5 Series Zero Edge is a 133-inch. God damn it! It's 133 inch. It's a 5 TZ133 PWL. So that is 133-inch zero edge in pure white with the LED backlight. So it's like a 14-foot long box, but we'll see. The screen size should be about 11 foot, so, or 10 foot wide. Some other goodies came in today. Well, not all of this came in today, but a good bit of it. So there's the stereo setup. In the middle there, Denon X6400H 11.2 channel. Below that, the center channel is the Klipsch RP440C. Above that are the left and right DefTech UIW RLS3s. Of course, on the side, the rather ominous boxes there are the FV15 HPs, two of them. I've already got them out of the box, so we're here in the corners. These side channels will be the DefTech DI5.5 BPS, the bipolars, which will be, I'll show the placement here in a minute. They're going to be those side channels there on the side of the wall. Should be good for sound dispersion. The rear channels, DI5.5 LCRs, and then the Atmos DI6.5S, the square, just for looks really. To have the square grill on the ceiling as opposed to the round. And there's two more of those on the way. They were on back order. They're supposed to be delivered today. And then the front wall. So here's where the screen will go. That tape mark is the exact dimensions of the Screen Innovations 133 right there. Actually, I'm going to probably take it up about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. Got quite a bit of drywall work to do just from where things were. Rerouted some of the cables down to a lower level. I'll patch those drywall spots there. As well as all the speaker wires were hung way too high, so they were at about 74, 76 inches. Lowering down to a center line of the screen, which is 56 inches. So there's the outline cut for the UIW RLS3s on each side. And then the sides for the DI5.5 BPS. So I'll have to patch that drywall when I run that down. And then the rears is a bit of an interesting situation because of where the studs were, and then on this side where the wall plug was. So there was not room to put it in between that wall plug and the wall because there's a stud right there in the middle. And then on this side, there's a stud that's placed in a different spot. So there was no consistent position. They were going to have to be different distances off the wall or in the room. They wouldn't be centered. So I opted to move them in a little further. Obviously, when we're in here listening, the doors will be closed. So it'll be a little bit narrower sound channel, but it should be just fine. It'll still be wider. Yes, sir, son. It'll still be wider than the seating array, so it should be just fine. The ceilings next. I got to do the cutouts for the front and rear Atmos on all 4 sides, and then the projector. I'm still undecided. I'm between the Optima, the new Optima HD65, the Vivitech 2299, or just the standard HD like a Sony 45ES. Not a huge fan of the Epson. I've heard good things about it, but just not a huge fan of it personally myself, so I'm not really looking at the Epson or the JVC. I don't think for the money the JVCs are a little overpriced for a pixel shifter compared to like a 5040, which is what I would get, so if I was going to get something like that, but an Epson. But so yeah, that'll be the next. I do already have the Chief mount ready to go for it. Some 12 gauge for the center channel. There is 14 gauge in here for the fronts, and then this is 16 gauge hanging out here on the side for the sides, the rears, and the Atmos. My son is having a field day with all the tools and stuff in here. There are the Rhythmics. They are ominous. I've hooked them up to a direct LR line for a bass tone, just off of playing off a phone, and they're going to be fun. Those two. They're way more than I need in the room, but it's always good to have too much than not enough. So this cabinet is obviously too high and is going away. What is going to go in there is in between those subwoofers. Excuse me. That's my son. Watch out, son. Come on. He's playing hide and seek. So in between the subwoofers, along the line where those the plugs and wires are, is going to be a hollow floating shelf. I'm building that right now, and I'm doing that specifically for wire management. It'll be hollow, so I'll be able to install it, and I'll have to put some legs on it just because of the weight of that clips and that denim that's going to sit on it. But all the wires will be able to tuck inside of the floating shelf, so you won't see any wires. And then I bought some of these. These are the wire grommets, so I can put holes directly behind the equipment, run the wires up through the shelf and into the back of the equipment. But there's not a bunch of wires hanging out. They're all tucked in nice and neat. And then the sub lines, I'll just run out down along the bottom of it over to the subs, because they'll be on each side of it. So I do have the other channels as well. That's a sub channel right there, and that's a sub channel right there. And those are up there also. So I may move those Rhythmics around to see what sounds best. But we'll see how that works out. I'm definitely going to start with them in the front and then work from there and play with the placement and the phase on them. But yeah, coming along. So the holes are going to get cut today. Drywall is coming tomorrow. Then the screen will go up and start mounting speakers and everything else like that. And then it'll just be a matter of finding the projector and mounting it, and then letting the wife do her furniture thing. So we'll see how it goes. All right, guys. Thanks.